We get sent a ton of ideas. Most of them are all the same.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could maybe talk about your single Bruises, the newest one. Yeah, maybe who came up with the first line or idea or riff that led to that song?
I think it might have been me.
She with the first,
Yeah.
initial idea.
What was it?
What was it?
Is it an old song?
Yeah, it was kind of an old idea that half the song was a much older idea, and then we added a brand new section, so it was almost taking something from a long time ago, and which is great because you can't really rewrite, you can't get back to that emotion. So if you've ever written a song, you could never write a similar one. It's like you've moved on, so it's almost like going back in time a little bit for us. But then again, it seemed to sum up how we're all feeling, you know? I don't know. It was an idea from when we had no idea we were going to be a band that got to tour and make records, and it had this sort of, not a naivety to it, but a kind of a pureness to it. And yeah, and it showcases me and Emma singing quite a lot, and all the emotions in that, I think, and it's something that we do, and you know, it was a great song to have that harmony singing vibe on the record. And then when it all gets a little too sweet, we just put on the biggest chorus we could do, and which is a really nice juxtaposition. And yeah, hopefully it's a song that will sound good for a long time. You know, it's kind of an old school song, and it's and it's got I think an introduction that it's got the most chords in it. It's very symmetrical. Yeah, it was very pleasing. Yeah, we worked that one out, and it was like, well, this will have to work because it matches up completely.
Can you tell what the lyrics are about, Emma?
Well, he wrote it, so. Well, most of it.
I think it's kind of a song about telling someone to believe in themselves and to sort of go out into the world and not be afraid. And yeah, it's, you know, and that was the emotion that it sort of, you know, brings back to me when I wrote it. And you sing it about other people, and then almost every night you sing it to yourself, because like it's a sort of self-counselling method. So yeah, it does that job as well. You don't think about it too much because you end up thinking about the situation and then forgetting you're in front of loads of people and playing the wrong chord, just daydreaming away if you think about the lyrics too much.
Yeah, you mentioned symmetry. I think also your artwork is symmetric in a way. Is that something that you cling on, or is that
I think the record had, well, I worked alongside the people at the label, and we did use the painting. We didn't want to just put one of the paintings on the front cover and just leave it at that, so we were trying to figure out how we could make it work, and they came up with this idea of reflecting it and manipulating it a little bit on the computer, and it sort of opened up this whole idea of that Rorschach inkblot test and just different people seeing different things in the work, which I really found interesting, and then that carried on to the second sort of album cover as well. So, but it happens in the songs as well. I think we like that kind of.
I think we have a weird OCD thing or something like that. Like, you know, sometimes I don't know what it is, but something's not right. And you're like, well, no, I'm like it definitely. That should just be there, and then it's right. And often musically it works. You know, instruments are designed like that with reason. So sometimes if you use a bit of logic, sometimes which is hard to find sometimes. Yeah, you can discover things like that.
One last question: the video for Bruises, who came up with that? Was that the director that came up with it?
Every video, we don't do a lot, you know, like we get sent a ton of ideas. Most of them are all the same. You'd be surprised at how similar these ones are.
Can you? What came?
Well, like it's like right, you know, there's
The
a
pitch.
fight like between a guy and a girl and stuff, and you know, and she's got bruises on her, and it's just like wow.
Literal, basically.
Yeah, it's
And-
way too literal. And then so it's really easy to pick out the winning video because it's one comes in, always happens, every video one
Thank
comes
God.
in, where it's like. Right, we want to go in a bowling alley and have some Mexican wrestlers have a match with some other
nerds.
guys, and we're like, well, I haven't been bowling for a long time, so we went bowling for a day, you know, and watched some badass Mexican wrestlers. Like, it's just great. We just try and entertain ourselves, you know.
It's
The
literally
video
the-
previous was a kung fu video in a TV studio, and it's like, yeah, sure, I want to see some kung fu. Like, it's more for our own enjoyment, really, not for anyone else. That's not true.
It helps though. It helps. Yeah, moody, desolate mountain top in the rain. Might look nice, but you're going to really piss off the band.
Thank you very much. That's a good hint for the next directors, maybe.